I'm gonna show you how to clean up these headlight buckets. It's really not that hard. I learned today, and I'm an idiot. I think I figured out what actually causes my headlights to cloud up in the first place. See this? Yep, dead spiders. Not just any spiders. Those are North American halogen spiders. They are famous for ruining all kinds of lights. You can look it up. Terrible, terrible blight. All right, in all seriousness, you can see this is the undamaged section of the headlight bezel, and this is just the scratched, faded algae. I don't know what, I really don't know what causes it, and I don't care. So does it matter how it happened if we can fix it? No, it doesn't. Short answer. And you don't need a fancy kit to do this. You may have all the supplies you need right at your house. And if not, you can pick up just one or two things and spend half the money of some of the kits and do the same thing. You're gonna need a bucket. You're gonna fill this probably halfway or more with water. That's for wet sanding. You're gonna need sandpaper. Start with 1,000 grit, wet dry. And if you got 1,500 or 2,000, you're also gonna need that. And then get a 3,000 grit, either polishing cloth or wet dry sandpaper. This is really gonna be key to making these clear at the end. If you got any miscellaneous sort of pad to put behind the sandpaper, that's perfectly fine. This is just a piece of foam. This is a polishing pad. You don't really need them, but if you got them, it doesn't hurt. You're gonna need some sort of polishing compound. What I've got here at the house is just some turtle wax polishing compound. If you've got Meguiar's, anything like that, squeezy bottle kind, that'll work too. It won't really matter. You're gonna need some painter's tape because you're gonna wanna mask off all the areas around your headlight so you don't damage the paint while you're sanding, because you're sanding. Then, for the polishing, if you've got a little rotary drill and one of these ball polishers, that works great. If you don't have one of those, well, microfiber towel. That'll work just as good. Step one, painter's tape. Basically what I'm saying is, you don't want to sand your paint unless you're actually sanding your paint because you're going to paint your car. In which case, you can skip this step and move on to step two. Ta-da! Now that we've got that masked off, we're ready to start sanding. I'm going to start with the 1,000 grit. I just happen to have some rotary disc sanding pads. It really doesn't matter. We're going to get them wet in our bucket, just like this. I've read things online that say you should go vertically first, horizontal first, diagonally first. It doesn't matter. You're going to sand 3 times, 1,000 grit, 2,000 grit, 3,000 grit, and you just want to go in a different direction every time. That's as really in-depth as anybody needs to get about it. You want to make sure that you keep this nice and wet, and you don't want to apply a lot of pressure to it. All you're trying to do is get this film or damage off of the surface. Make sure you freshen this up a lot. You don't want any debris to get on here because that's just going to create more scratches in what you're trying to unscratch. This is going to take a while, but it'll be worth it. And every once in a while, wipe off all this and see your progress. See how everything's starting to cloud up and get more even, and it doesn't look as yellow/green? That's a good thing. Here, take a better look at it. We're getting there. We're getting there. Don't worry about how foggy it looks at the beginning. That's all gonna clean up when we polish it. Each sandpaper level is probably gonna take you, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes easy, maybe even more depending on how damaged yours are. These are pretty damaged. This could take me 15 or 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna be over here sanding, and we'll come back when we're ready for the next level of sandpaper. Okay. All right, done with that first level of sandpaper, and as you can see, I've got this headlight bucket basically clouded over completely evenly. If you were a weatherman, you'd say it was overcast. You're looking to make your headlight overcast. Now we're going on to 2,000, doing the exact same thing, but going a different direction. I'm just gonna try to basically follow the line of the headlight and grill, that angle. That'll be my diagonal. It's not really that important, but you know, if you're looking for some sort of measuring stick to go off your diagonals, that's one. Make sure you keep the headlight wet and your sandpaper wet, and you don't need a lot of pressure. You just need a lot of time. You're just gonna sit here and you're gonna do this a lot. Got away from me, wasn't paying attention, but keep doing that. Pretty much done with the 2,000, and if you look, it looks pretty clear until you dry it. Then your cloudiness should come back because you haven't actually polished anything yet. All you've done is gone from scratches to finer scratches, which we're gonna polish out with the 3,000 and then the wax. Yep, just like that. Still overcast, but much, much finer. Onto the 3000 grit again. Keep it very wet, rinse it often, and go in a different direction. So I've gone horizontally, I've gone that way-ish, diagonal, so we'll go kind of back towards the steering wheel of the car. It's just a lot of this. It's all you're doing. Light pressure, a lot of this. You can switch hands if you need to. All right, I'm done with the 3000. If you look, when I get it wet, it looks nice and clear. That's how it should look when it's wet when you're done with the 3000. Perfectly clear, so you can see all of your dead spiders. See them? All right. Couldn't really see them that well before, but that's clean now. Last step is to polish. Can you do it by hand with a microfiber towel? Absolutely. Does it take longer? Absolutely. Am I gonna do it with a drill? Absolutely. All right, make sure you dry it off first though. You don't want a whole bunch of water between your polish and the plastic. So dry it off nice, and you'll see almost all the fine scratches are gone. It's not as foggy as it was with the 1000 and 2000 grit. So polish should just clean this right up. All right, there's lots of different techniques for getting this onto this. Here's my favorite. Works really well. It's messy though. You do want to use a little bit of pressure here because you've got to get polish into all the little cracks and crevices, and micro cracks and micro crevices, and macro cracks and macro crevices. Basically, you want to put it everywhere. And the only way to do that is to apply some pressure. You're going to want to keep going on the polish until it starts to dry out and you're sort of wiping it off with the ball. That's when you can stop, get the towel out, wipe it off, and see where you're at. This feels a lot like honing a cylinder. I've got an episode on that too. All right, now I'm gonna grab that microfiber towel that I talked about. Paper towel, doesn't really matter. I guess paper towels are made out of paper, tiny bits. They're microscopic. Really, a paper towel is a microfiber towel, disposable. And all you want to do is rub all of this extra wax off. It's gonna take some elbow grease to get this dried wax off too, and that's okay. You're not hurting anything at this point. Make sure you flip this towel over to the clean side so you don't keep using dirty parts. All right, I think we've done pretty well. Now we need to protect it. Last step that I almost forgot about, and I didn't even list in the parts in the description. One eyeball, two eyeball, one eyeball, two eyeball, camera. All right, so the last thing that all these kits have is these kits have some sort of magical proprietary UV protectant wipe. Specifically for plastic. You know what else is a UV protectant wipe specifically for plastic? Yeah. While this might not last as long because the other stuff guarantees like 2 years of UV protection, if you wash your car more than once every 2 years and you're using these when you wash your car, don't buy the kit. It's a waste of money. Well, it's a waste of money unless you don't already have 99% of the stuff that's in the kit. If you have to buy the stuff separately, the kit's probably a better deal. So I guess it's not completely garbage, but if you're a car guy and you're watching this, you probably got most of this stuff, so don't buy the kit. Get our wipes on here. We are now protected. There we go. And voila. Headlight cleaned. I learned how to do this today. It is not hard. You don't need the kit unless you don't have all the other stuff sitting around. If you don't have all the other stuff sitting around, you need the kit. But there's nothing special or magical in that kit. Sandpaper, 1000, 2000, 3000 grit, polishing compound, microfiber cloth, and magical proprietary UV protectant wipes. That's it. Go fix your headlights, and I'll see you next time.